up, 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 up. Look at the size of this monument. The rally, I think, stopped in 2010. Used to run here in the deserts of Senegal. And we're gonna try to go there. The Europeans and the Chinese come here to the African waters and fish a lot of their fish because they know the Africans don't have a lot of the infrastructure. That I filmed something and the police or the security or whoever came to me and say, hey, you have to delete this, you have to delete this.
Tu vas porter, tu portes toujours la qualité, bonne qualité. Tu fais quelle taille?
So welcome to Dakar, Senegal. This is also going to be kind of a day trip in Dakar. Going to be showing a couple of places around the city. And we decided to start here. And I'm going to explain to you what is this huge monument. Look at little Nikki down there. We go down, 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 up, 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 up. Look at the size of this monument. It's huge, huge. This is the African Renaissance Monument.
The biggest statue in all of Africa.
Yes, it's huge, 42 meters in feet times 3, 120 something feet. It's really, really big. And it's here in Dakar. It's quite controversial because it costs about $25 million and was built by the same person that built these ones here. Yes, you're right.
The North Koreans.
The North Koreans. It was built by a North Korean company. Remember?
Masunde Overseas Construction.
Yeah, Bansu Overseas Construction Corporation. And actually in a lot of countries in Africa, usually...
Dictatorships.
Yeah, it has to be a little bit louder that they don't hear. She said dictatorships. This Senegal is not so much, but in the other ones, like run by strong men, let's say, they pay millions of dollars to have like a huge monument like that. You know the deal, the drill. And this one was controversial because it cost $25 million. The president at the time got 30% of that, saying it was for intellectual property. It's so complicated. And Dakar, Senegal is not a rich country, definitely.
A huge portion lives under the poverty line, yeah.
And another controversy is that you see them kind of naked, half naked, and this is a majority Muslim country. So it didn't land well with the local population.
Yeah, you have to be, you can see like it's a million degrees right now. I'm wearing pants, I'm generally covered.
Yeah.
So.
But it's a very nice, beautiful done
It's very impressive,
monument,
honestly.
very impressive. And here's on the top of a hill that you can see a lot of Dakar. All these flags are African countries' flags because it's the African Renaissance monument. And the airport is right there, the Dakar airport, and also a military base. So very interesting. If you're visiting Dakar, it's absolutely a must stop. You just have to challenge yourself to go up the stairs here. And here in the monument you have a free bathroom. So as I always suggest, if you're traveling around and you see a free bathroom, take advantage of it.
Just make sure you bring toilet paper though.
That's true. Always have a little bit of toilet paper with you, because here they didn't have it. So for those who don't know, this first flag here is the Senegal flag. That second flag over there is the African Union. It's kind of a European Union for Africa, essentially. It's a multilateral institution, international institution that try to enhance cooperation both politically and economically among different African nations. So essentially, you can correct me if I'm wrong, every single African country is part of the African Union. 54 members, plus some city, autonomous regions, de facto countries, but yeah, everyone. It's a beautiful flag. So Dakar, it's the capital of Senegal, the largest city. There's some of the most visited, especially Western Africa or Sub-Saharan Africa. if you think from Europe, it's not that far to come here, neither to Gambia. And if you see the map, I'm gonna show here. It looks like a
Senegal is eating them.
yeah, it's like a backpack. What's it?
Pac-Man.
Pac-Man. Looks
Yeah.
like a Pac-Man eating Gambia.
They call it Senegambia. They all put them
Yeah,
together.
I'm gonna visit the Senegal and Gambia. And Senegal was mostly French colony. I say mostly because the Portuguese were here as well, right in the 1600s, like they were everywhere.
And the Dutch, I believe,
Yeah.
too.
But interesting because Senegal was a French colony and Gambia was a British colony. So that's why it's so weird the separation between both countries, the border. Senegal literally inside, Gambia literally inside Senegal. And remember also the car rallies, the Paris Dakar. Part of the rally, I think, stopped in 2010, used to run here in the deserts of Senegal. But now they moved the Paris Dakar rally to South America. And they're going to move that to Asia eventually. But just so you know, because you heard about Dakar, yeah, it was the famous car racing, desert racing competition in Paris Dakar. And even from far away, extremely imposing, very beautiful.
Very dramatic.
Dramatic. Pity that was quite a bit of a waste of money. We're gonna try to go to the mosque over there, which is the Divinity Mosque. Look at this mosque. How pretty, and how pretty the whole environment by the side of the ocean. Don't remember seeing like a mosque right at the side of the ocean like that. Here in Dakar, it's really pretty. And we're gonna try to go there. Little bit of history of the mosque. Was constructed in 1973. And the regular call, God is great, Allahu Akbar. No fue lo mismo.
Está muy cerca.
Cerca del puerto.
Okay.
¿Ya fuera?
No, no, no.
No, todavía no.
Sí, mira, qué lindo, ¿verdad?
Dejamos las cosas más cerca del puerto para el fin. Ah, bueno, para que como, no sé, 4 horas, no sé, que todavía que ya están con el carro. Hace 4 horas, sí, bueno. Atención para no le cobrar más, ¿eh?
Yeah.
No, no, él le conocíamos antes.
Ah, okay, okay.
Ah, bueno. Get inside, man. Beautiful boat with the Senegalese flag. Beautiful girl, woman, and beautiful mosque. So here they have more independent fishing, not the big massive ships and companies that
Like not the professional fishing
yeah, the European ones.
or Chinese.
And like I said in the Lanzarote video from the Canary Islands, how sometimes the Europeans and the Chinese come here to the African waters and fish a lot of their fish because they know the Africans don't have a lot of the infrastructure with strong coast guard to control those ships, and that's a problem. Something interesting that we are also noticing here is like we are not super. Some people are friendly, some are not so much, and for them, like, we are just Europeans, right? Probably. Well, I'm not. I'm mostly Brazilian, but I also have Portuguese and American citizenship, but I'm Brazilian, and she's American. So there's this brewing with a certain reason, like anti-colonialism, anti-Europeanism in West Africa specifically. There is some reason behind it, but also lately Russia is being engaged in hybrid warfare against Europe, United States, and the West here in Africa. They're using the Russian TV, RT, you probably heard about it, in French or in different languages.
What is RT? Might be good to explain, just in
Yeah,
case.
Russian TV, it's a TV, essentially it's a wing of the Russian government.
A news channel funded by the Russian
Yeah.
government.
And essentially 99% of the news are negative to the West, negative to Europe and everything, and Russia is a great place. Russia is perfect.
But they have in other languages, which is
Yeah, they have in English, they have in German, they have in Russian, obviously, they're having French. So it's a propaganda machine for the Russian government. And here in the Middle East, North Africa,
West Africa.
West Africa, and in Africa in general, they have this RT now in every single country, and a lot of social media promoting Russia, and with negative coverage of Europe, West, and especially France, because France used to be the colonial power here.
And Russia is the one creating this anti-European,
Yeah.
anti-France.
So exactly, yeah. So there's a reason for this sentiment, but also it's being artificially enhanced by Russia. And Russia, they're not benevolent at all, right? They're here for a purpose. They also want the natural resources. It's all a geopolitical game. So it's almost like changing one new colonial power by another new colonial power. Yeah. Sorry, he was asking where we were from. But yeah, so you got the idea. It's like a new neo-colonial geopolitical power struggle, Russia against the West, also related to Ukraine as well, because the West is supporting Ukraine. So yeah, that's the world, how the world has been since 5,000 years ago. It's pretty cool. This is like a, how you call in English? Corniche.
I think we say Corniche.
Corniche, like the bigger sidewalk by the coast, and it's a beautiful area. And they were renovating back there. There was a kind of shopping mall, cinemas,
Fancy
KFC,
hotels.
always. KFC is everywhere, more than McDonald's.
It's true. We found countries where there's no McDonald's, but just KFC for some reason.
Interesting. So it's a monument, an homage, a captain from the Senegalese armed forces who died as a peacekeeper, a United Nations peacekeeper in Rwanda in 1994. Remember the genocide in Rwanda. The main train station here in Dakar. I know obviously the whole issue with colonialism, but this colonial architecture, it is pretty. And obviously you find that in many colonies, ex-colonies around the world. But yeah. And here you have a little bit of the lines to Jamandia and to the airport, mixing train and buses. Very modern train, very nice, beautiful. Some of the main attractions here in Dakar, they have a expo here inside the train station. This is like Hotel de Ville. You think it's a hotel, but it's actually the city hall. That's how they say in French. It was renovated. Again, one of those buildings from the colonial times, 1910, I think. That terrible thing, colonization, but the architecture, like it or not, it's kind of nice. And also I filmed Chinese hotels. You find those Chinese hotels all over the world. A lot of times they are hotels for the Chinese workers that come here to work on infrastructure projects that were financed by the Chinese government, which are usually part of the Belt and Road project, which is an overarching project from the Chinese government for the new Silk Road, which is the Chinese government financing projects, financing and building, helping the projects all over the world.
What type of projects would those be?
Like ports, train stations,
Train lines.
airports, roads,
yeah.
everything. And it's a little bit of the geopolitical game, right? China invests in those countries. In exchange, they get consumer markets, they get access to their natural resources, and they get support in the United Nations. Like if there's some resolution in the General Assembly that the Chinese would like those countries to vote in favor of the Chinese resolution, invest in those countries is like a quid pro quo, a little bit. But the United States does that, the Europeans do that, Japan does that. It's normal. It's the geopolitical game. Development projects. It's a quid pro quo exchange. You help a country, the country helps you somehow. another monument for soldiers, for paratroopers. Here you see actually a lot of police and military around Dakar. Some of them already asked me to delete some of the things I was filming because I think I filmed them by mistake, so yeah. Air Senegal flights to Mecca. So as you know, Senegal is a mostly Muslim country, so obviously a lot of Muslims, they have to go to Mecca, hopefully at least once in their lifetimes, hopefully for them, I'm saying. So here they are promoting flights to Mecca from Dakar. So this is the Independence Square, right in the center of Dakar. And there they have monuments for the dead in the First World War and in the Second World War, and the Senegalese flags. And why is that? Obviously because at the time, both First World War and Second World War, Senegal was a colony, of a French colony. So if France was at war, they sent a lot of the people from the countries that they were colonizing to fight on those wars. So yeah, in the First World War, a lot of Senegalese fought and died for France. First and Second World War. Same thing about the Indians. They were a British colony, so they fought in the Second World War, and I guess, as far as I remember, in the First World War as well. And that's classic, let's say, for colonial powers to do that. Especially, it's better from people from the colonies to go to fight and die than people from their own country. Obviously, a lot of French and British people fought and died, but yeah, it's just more soldiers. Why not? Also, it was already the second time that I filmed something and the police or the security or whoever came to me and say, hey, you have to delete this, you have to delete this. One, I can understand it can be an issue to film some parts, but also they want to bribe, essentially. That's their point. That's why, bonjour, ça va? That's why they're asking. I'll tell you after. I don't know what fruit is that. I don't think it's jackfruit, but it's huge. And this one is the main Christian church here in Dakar. Very pretty. So do you remember I was recording and someone stopped me at one of those scams, you know? And people wanted to give you a gift like was a bracelet to Nikki. And obviously they say no, and then you almost think they really want to give you for free. And then they say, I don't have money. So
Just a euro.
just a euro and everything. And so they actually want money. So it happens everywhere. But yeah, but I was saying like, you have to be careful where you film and take pictures here because they're gonna try a lot. Sometimes it is illegal, but sometimes they want just a bribe, like or the police or kind of security guy. They want some money. Say, you shouldn't have filmed here. Now you have to give me something I'm not gonna arrest you or something. So it happens, unfortunately. It happened already 2 times. So. Obviously, a much more simple church inside, not sumptuous, like full of gold like the European ones. The French army, no? So this is the Port Autonome de Dakar. It's the main local port here in Dakar to go to Gorée Island, the famous Gorée Island where they used to gather a lot of the slaves from all over, from this part of Africa, West Africa, send it over there and then send to the Americas. So that's a classic tourist attraction here in Senegal, in Dakar. We're not gonna do it today because we are a little bit short on time. It's about 30 minutes to go there, 30 minutes to go back. You need about 2 hours to explore the island, to explore the museum where they show where the slaves used to stay and shackled. So you need some time there. And probably you should get a guide because you're gonna learn more about the history. So you're not gonna go this time. but just so you know, that's the port where you depart from. And we can leave some of the schedule here and the prices to help you out if you need some information. And then the description, we're gonna have the link as well. Remember I mentioned about countries helping other countries with development projects in exchange for, cooperation and resources supported the United Nations. Here's an example of Japan supporting a port here in Senegal. So now we are visiting the Grand Mosque here in Dakar. Really beautiful, really pretty. The minaret is huge. But again, like in the Moroccan video about Tangier, the geopolitical one, I mentioned like the minaret there was also square like that. In the Middle East or in Central Asia, the ones we visit, the minarets are round. So I don't know why. Maybe it's an African architecture, Middle Eastern architecture. I don't know if there's interest from here. And also, you see, they are also building a new mosque here in Dakar. We saw the construction site, and they had a picture of how it would look like. And apparently would have like 4 minarets. And they say the number of minarets define how important the mosque is. Today, apparently, this is the most important mosque in Dakar, Senegal, because it's the Grand Mosque. But apparently the new one is going to be even bigger, even more important. That one's going to be the Grand Mosque. I don't know if you can visit actually, but let's see. And sorry that I'm using my Insta360 to record, because my phone was giving me like the phone is too hot, you have to shut it down, so yeah, I'm letting it rest a little bit.
Like me, it wasn't made for the heat.
Yeah, Nikki wasn't designed for the heat. You can see she's suffering.
No.
And even if I'm Brazilian, I don't deal well with the heat, and here it's pretty hot. And yeah, my camera wasn't designed apparently for the heat either. So the image is a bit weird, the quality is not so great, and the sound, I'm sorry about that. But
Can you hear the call to prayer though?
Yeah. Really beautiful.
Caramel.
This is the Caramel market here in Dakar. Really cool, really pretty. It's a nice clock. I know the sun is right on the opposite, but maybe if you take sideways, you can see it better. Really nice. Excusez-moi, merci. Bonjour, comment ça va?
Bonjour.
Comment ça? Salam alaikum.
Alaikum salam. Ça va? Ça se va?
Ah, merci. Très joli. Bon. Ça, c'est du bronze.
Yeah.
Ah non, ça va. Mais merci beaucoup. On n'a pas,
Juste pour regarder?
on n'a pas de place pour
Tu as vu?
ramener ça, mais c'est très joli quand même.
Oui, il y en a plus petite taille.
Pardon?
Il y en a plus petite.
Ah non, mais ça
Il y en a
va.
un autre plus petite là.
Merci beaucoup, madame. Bonne journée. Assalamu alaikum. Merci.
Le meilleur football. Le Brésil.
Ah ouais, le football.
Le meilleur football.
Ah, merci. 2030, la Coupe du Monde, ça sera à Portugal, Espagne et Maroc.
Maroc, oui.
C'est à côté d'ici, vous pouvez regarder le jeu. À bientôt. Bonjour, monsieur.
Take time and look.
Seulement en train de regarder, merci beaucoup,
Ah, tu
monsieur.
fais le film.
Ah, un petit peu, oui.
Ça bien, ouais. Sinon, ça va?
Oui, oui, pour vendre le Sénégal.
Ah, bon.
Vendre le Sénégal.
Ça me fait... Viens voir mon magasin, tu fais le film. Moi, je suis là. Viens prendre le film. Là, tu prends le film, c'est le Sénégal.
Ah, waouh, c'est joli.
Merci. Ça, c'est le Sénégal. Et puis, je fais bon prix pour les maillots de foot.
Et moi, je suis brésilien quand même. Nous sommes brésiliens quand même.
C'est bien. Brésil
Ouais.
et Sénégal, ça va être bon.
Wow.
Avec ça, tu vas porter. Tu vois la qualité. Bonne qualité. Tu fais quelle taille? XL?
Non, non, merci, monsieur. Je regarde seulement. Les champions de l'Afrique de 2024.
Voilà.
Moi, je suis là, moi. Depuis ce matin, je vous attends. Voilà, moi, je suis là. Je fais le joli petit.
Ah, c'est très, très joli quand même.
Venez voir.
Small stress here. Figure out who passes or who doesn't pass. He's angry. Yeah. It's a little bit of, yeah, chaotic a little bit. Oh, I'm sorry. Pardon. But yeah, traffic jam here in Dakar can be complicated. As always, you see a lot of guys, and almost no women outside. It's very interesting. A lot of places, and then honestly, a lot of Muslim places. Again, this is not a full Muslim country. It's like majority Muslim, but yeah, you see a lot of dudes everywhere. You don't see women. Very few sometimes. Peraí. Só um segundo, amor. Come on. Ah, need one more. And those are the ones that go to other towns and cities not far from Dakar. Those little buses there. So it's full of recording of what they're selling. Instead of keep yelling what they're selling, they keep they just put the recording there and boom boom. Look how fun. It's a pity we went to the presidential palace, but we weren't able to record because I explained before the thing about taking pictures here of some sites, especially if it's our official military related. They're not too keen, and they're gonna. There is obviously the security issue, but also it's an opportunity for them to try to get a bribe. So didn't film. I'm sorry about that. So that's it. That was a day trip itinerary in Dakar, Senegal's capital. A little bit chaotic, like most big cities in the world and most big cities in Africa, but it's really nice. A lot of things to see. Yeah, and a little bit of, there was a dash of geopolitics because you all know that I like it. But if you have any questions, any doubts about traveling to Senegal, Senegambia, Dakar, just let us know, or about geopolitics in the comment area, and we always answer. Take care.